it's harder to finance commercial than a single family home, right?
If you're not going to live or own something long term, be careful with what you pay for it.
So, you still want to invest, and in a prior episode we talked about investing in commercial properties. But today we're going to talk about the risks and the rewards of investing in single family homes. Now, there's a lot to be said for this because it's easier, right, to invest in a single family home than a commercial property.
Well, you're investing in multiple single family homes, or you're just investing as your place where you're living?
If you are like, I am going to, not as like your home,
Okay,
not your main
sure.
home, but you want to be an investor and you're like, I'm only going to invest, or I'm going to start by investing in single family homes, right? So let's talk about some of the rewards, some of the good things about it.
You don't have to deal with anyone else. It's just yours.
What do you mean?
No partners, no
partners.
neighbors. There's neighbors, but you don't have other tenancies. It's one tenant in that house, which has pros and cons.
That is a really good pro because people can be annoying, as we all know.
Yes.
It's not on my list, but yes,
Okay,
that's a great one. But let's talk about the demand. Like, people
in a great market, there's different parts of the country now that homes are selling in hours and days. If you can get something that's like from an estate sale or foreclosed and clean it up a bit, and you could sell that really quickly. Even the rental market too is hot there for homes,
for single family homes.
Yeah.
Now, it's harder to finance commercial than a single family home, right?
It depends on the scenario. It's easy to finance a single family home if you're living there.
Got it.
Okay. When you're not living in the single family home, then it becomes an investor property. So it's a little more
Is that hard
challenging
to finance?
It depends on how big the house is or what the price point is, but it's not always as easy. It also depends on whether or not you have a tenant.
Are there more products for getting as an investment a single family home?
There are tons of products out there
Yeah.
for that. So in that respect, there's a lot of options, sure.
And what's a hard money lender? Would that be someone you'd go to for that?
You could. A hard money lender, though, is really more of a way to make ends meet for a short period of time because the rates are so high. It could be 12, 14%, and they may charge 2 or 3 points to get into the loan. So that's something you're doing if it's like your wife found this house, it's your dream house, you're not ready to buy it. In 6 months you would be.
But this is an investment.
Well, you're just buying. Well, it could be an Airbnb dream house where you're, or a vacation house where you're going to rent it and use it, right?
I like that.
But the trick is, you don't want to be with a hard money lender for a long period of time. It's just a way to get something done quickly. Let's say, because there's so many people looking for residential, you need to sweeten your offer by saying you're going to close in 30 days. Okay, and you may not have all the cash, right? Maybe you have half, so you borrow the other half from a hard money lender. You get the house because now your offer is all cash, and then you go and you refinance it and you get rid of that hard money lender as quickly as possible.
Because it's very high interest.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the sales process between commercial and residential. Which one's better? Being able to resell it after you buy it.
There's more people just in general that want houses. So there's usually a better market for residential. It's usually easier. There's more buyers.
So it's a quicker sales process.
Again, and that depends on the market, but usually it's the ability, if you price the property appropriately, right? It's all about your price. If you price it appropriately, you can usually get a contract on a house within 30 days. Okay.
And larger audience, so there are more people who want single family homes.
Yes, there's more people looking for a place to live. So with a commercial building, not everybody wants to open a store. Not everybody needs an office. Not everybody needs a warehouse, right? Everybody needs a place to live.
Right.
Okay. So if you're buying in an area that has growth to it, and again, you could check that out because some populations are leaving, right? So let's say New York City, people say that there's a ton of people leaving New York City. So I don't think it's being affected that much now, but let's say you picked a town that had a coal mine in it and the coal mine shut down, right? So now you're buying all these houses, but if there's no reason for people to live there, then that would be something you would not want to do.
I know this is so hard because you're like, commercial's better. So it's so hard for you to tell why.
There's opportunities everywhere. You know,
Okay.
I have done a lot of flips in residential.
Well, yeah, I know that too.
And
Yeah.
I've done well there. So it really, you just have to understand what it is that you like. You know, if you don't want to deal with commercial buildings, you don't have to. You can make money in residential.
What type of people should look towards residential? Like, what's a
I think
type
it's a
of
good
person?
place to start. So
Okay.
I think everybody should look at residential. You know, if you don't have a mentor who has history in commercial and you're just waking up in the morning and saying, I'm going to get into real estate, you know, starting with residential, there's less risk in it. So I think that's a good starting point because it just gives you that confidence to get a few deals under your belt and then start the process, and you learn as you go.
Right.
And then you transition.
And I guess most people, one, understand the concept of a single family home or of a residential home, and they have more just life experience
Yes.
with that.
Yes.
So let's talk about some of the disadvantages. What happens if you're in a down market with having a
So
single family home?
Today, people are bidding houses up, right? So people are paying $100,000 over asking to buy something because they want to get it. And,
Right.
you know, I'm a proponent of paying over if you're going to get something that you really want. You know, like if my wife says, I really want this house and I have to pay 50 grand more than everybody else to get it, I would do it. But also you have to understand how long are you going to keep that house? If you're paying 50 grand more and you know that in a year you're going to move, it doesn't make sense to do that.
Right.
Okay. Because that market could change drastically. Interest rates can go up. As you've seen, they go up in a year. And all of a sudden,
Right.
you know, right now it's weird because the interest rates really didn't affect housing in a lot of, it depends on the area, but in
Right.
a lot of areas, the housing market is still hot, even though the interest rates are so high. But typically when interest rates go up, housing prices go down.
Right.
Okay. But if you're not going to live or own something long term, be careful with what you pay for it.
So if you're an investor and it's a crappy market, then you could be overpaying for something and you're
You
not
could
going to
be.
see more money.
Yes. But if you know the rents are really good, you know, and you see that there's a really strong rental market and you're going to make 20 or 30% on your money, then, you know, and you're going to keep it long-term gain and your goal is to make money as your cash flow every month, then it's okay to do it. Just know what your game plan is. Know how you're going to make the money off that property.
Now, let's say you're flipping a home. Where do you get the money? Because I feel as though it's really expensive to do all of these upgrades to these homes to make it so someone wants to pay so much more for it. You see a lot of the just single family homes that have been done by flippers that look very cookie cutterish. And I'm always like, well, why would I want to pay so much money for something that looks so standard?
Because when you're a buyer, okay, I mean, you as the buyer, as the person I'm selling to, so like buyers out there, they're looking at so many different houses, half of them look like crap. So the flippers are just doing what they think the market.
And where are they getting the money to do that?
They're either taking hard money loans or maybe they did a flip before, so they're reinvesting their profits into their next property. Or maybe they have partners. You know, a lot of times you'll have 2 or 3 people that go in together to buy a flip and they do it, or they'll partner with a contractor. So that contractor will put up all of the labor for free and then take his money or her money out
And
at the
then-
closing.
Right.
So
That's smart, but there are some high costs if you want to go into specifically flipping. There's some high costs.
the higher end homes require higher end finishes.
Yep.
Right. So if you go and you are in a $2 million home, and again, depends on the market, and you put in a plastic kitchen faucet that costs you $100, it's going to look like, you know, you have a pimple on your face, and people are going to look and they're going to be like, what's wrong with this? Or if you put in, there's toilets out there, some are round and some are elongated, 2 different style toilets. I'm not going to get into why, but if you go into some of these houses and they have a round toilet, it's just like that's a sign of a cheap
Okay.
project.
Okay.
You know, or people put
So
in,
elongated toilets are better.
yes, or let's
Okay.
say shower curtains.
Okay.
Okay. Higher end homes have glass shower
Correct.
doors or glass enclosures.
They wouldn't have a
not
shower
curtain.
Right.
So it just depends on the scenario.
Though I do miss buying shower curtains because you could always make it very, like, you know,
Well, they
personal.
have products for you. They're called stickers, and you could just go stick them on your glass.
I'm just
And there you
saying.
go.
I'm just saying. I do miss it. Okay. So I think we talked about this when we talked about commercial real estate as well, but just for real estate in general,
Right.
I think one of the risks and you may not agree with me, is being able to become liquid fast. Like, you just can't sell something tomorrow.
Not for the price, not for the highest and best price usually, right?
So
There are occasions, if you live on like the best street in the world and there's 10 people that have been dying to get on that street, there's a chance somebody will come and buy that house from you and close in 7 days, all cash. Okay. That's still not tomorrow.
It's not happening, right?
No, it does happen, but very rarely.
Has anyone closed with you within 2 weeks, all cash?
I've bought stuff where I was like, here's my price, sell it to me here and I'll close in 2 weeks. I've done it.
Wow, okay.
I've had a couple buyers that I worked with that did quicker closings, quicker than normal. And I've actually sold something recently where I was able to close in something in like a 2-month period that was a bigger project that should have taken like a year to close. So
nice.
There's scenarios.
Okay, so that's why you look at me. I'm always like liquidity, and you're like, yeah, it's not that big a deal.
There's always an exception to every rule. Mm-hmm. There's always somebody that did something. But yeah, traditionally, stuff is not liquid. Even if you go to get a home equity loan, it could take you 30 days to get that done.
Right.
There are lenders out there that are like, I'll get you money in 15 days. When you need money, usually people don't want to lend it to you. Right. So you always want to set up your lending options when you don't need it.
When you don't need it. This, our last risk, but I don't think it's a risk, it's just an annoyance, is something that you talk about, though, all the time when we talk about residential versus commercial kind of thing. And that is emotions. Like, if you are a flipper and you did your flip and then you're trying to sell it, or even if you're, buying and holding, and then you want to rent something, you always talk about emotions. Talk about the emotions.
So I'm a very emotional person.
Not at all.
I love the things that I develop, or the products that the houses that I finish, or the buildings that I finish. And your personality gets in the way sometimes when you're going to sell something, or if you're going to rent something. And it took me a long time. I still suffer from it sometimes. Emotional issues with selling real estate, or but like you could buy. I have this one building that was a really old, like 1900s sandstone building, and when I was redoing it, commercial building, I uncovered all the sandstone and I left it open as part of my design. So the first tenant liked it. The second tenant came in and they're like, well, I have to close all these up. And
you're like, wait a minute, this is beautiful.
Whoa. You can't do that. And in my head, I just rented. This person is going to pay me like double what I had it rented for. But here I am emotionally attached to these stupid sandstone things.
Because you put your imagination and your creativity into it.
So part of being a good investor in real estate is not letting that stuff get to you. Mm-hmm. It's hard. But a lot of people are really good. A lot of people don't care. They only care about the money. I am a mix of both. And I'm learning, and it's almost like the more you have, the more you're making. So in the beginning, you're very emotional. You should get away from that. And then once you've made it and you don't need the cash flow as much because you've already established so many things, you can almost get back into it, right? Because if you're making $1 million in positive cash flow every year and you don't want to rent it to somebody because they're going to screw up your wall, you can afford to do that. Whereas you may not be able to do that in the middle. So you have to just think through the big picture. If you're selling something and you're not going to go back to that project or to that property, why do you care what the person's going to do? Let it go. There you go.
So this is actually a section of our book where we talk about single family homes and residential and making the choice to invest in those types of properties. Real Estate Investing Made Simple by Eric Anderson and Noel Friedman.
That's right.
And I love the picture of us on the back.
Yeah.
Sold everywhere books are sold, thanks to Wiley, our publisher. But you can get it everywhere. I just got this one in the mail. I was so excited. Thanks for watching this episode. Now don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And we'll see you next time.